Hello, ladies and gentle people. Aw, yeah. Actually, this is how I want to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Aw, yeah. Aw, yeah. It is currently Thursday, November 10th, 2011, and this is Day 9 Daily number 375. Some of you might be wondering, why are you taking advantage of sexy voice at the start of this daily? Well, I can tell you quite clearly, quite distinctly why that is the case. Just listen to my voice here. I'm going to put my throat over here. Hear that little buzz, that hum? That comes from me screaming and going, "Ah!" Which I was doing all last night because I finished Amnesia! Ah! My voice is actually hoarse. I actually have a hoarse voice. Yes. A hoarse voice. H-O-R-S-E voice. It is a hoarse voice. So, I'm just exploiting that by having the, In fact, always after, like, a big event, like a DreamHack or an MLG, I'll always, like, I can't wait for, like, the Tuesday afterwards so I can just be like, ooh. So that just makes me feel really good. And, of course, with the sexy announcement voice, we can indeed say tomorrow I'm streaming Skyrim. Skyrim, when? At 9 a.m. Pacific. Literally 13 hours and 51 minutes from right now. 9 a.m. PST. I'll be streaming for approximately 8 hours. Oh, it's so exciting! Not just because it's Skyrim, but because I'm not going to be scared while I'm playing it. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Skyrim, Skyrim! I even have an outfit chosen. I'm going to be wearing these pants. I'm going to be wearing those boxers, and I'm going to be wearing that shirt. And I even laid out a pair of socks. Don't worry, I'll take photos and upload them to Twitter. I have my Skyrim outfit equipped. This black belt will be donned. The shoes that I have worn right now. Look at my awesome shoes. I'll be wearing these. These shoes will be worn while playing Skyrim, as will be the case during today's daily. Let's get all the other garbage announcements out of the way. Monday, Funday Monday. Funday Monday. It's happening on Monday. Submit a game of you playing with a mothership rush. Get the mothership before your Nexus expand starts. You must start a mothership before you may expand. What else is going on? That's it. Back to awesome announcements. Skyrim tomorrow. Oh, I have it preloaded. Let's go ahead and talk about today's daily topic. In parts 2 and 3, we're going to be doing Select versus Demaga, and the big theme is going to be how to deal with those hyper-aggressive, crazy, obnoxious Zergs. That's increasingly becoming a problem. We'll go into detail on that in part 2. For part 1, what we're going to be doing is reviewing your Demaga Zerg vs. Terran, Zerg vs. Protoss mutilating styles. Now, I even have my handy-dandy notepad open. Let's go ahead and open it up. Yeah, Demaga. Here is the big set of ideas we talked about yesterday. Demaga ZVP mutilating style. This was the big, most important thing. First, get a layer Inspire. Then take your third and fourth. And then get Roach Warren and Roach Speed, but delay the Roach production a lot, instead favoring the mutilating. We talked about how in the early game you should get the +1 attack. We talked about junk to do with those Mutalisks and Zerglings when you had them. But this was the important thing. Now, I actually want to stop here and say, in most games that were submitted, a lot of these didn't happen. For instance, in many games that I saw, the 4th base was never constructed. Which surprised me, because I thought that tickled my fancy, and I talked quite a bit about that in the games yesterday. But it made me realize, over time as I've been requesting for more submissions, there's this mistake that I would say a lot of Platinum and down players make, which is where they start trying to apply thought to situations where they shouldn't actually be thinking at all. Now, a lot of times, people would say that as an insult. Be like, dude, if you just didn't think, it would help us so much. You know, it's kind of like saying your thoughts are dumb. That's not what I'm talking about. What I mean is that people get into spots where they start second-guessing themselves and trying to think, is there a reason for me to do this? Is there a reason for me not to do this? Ooh, should I be taking a 4th expansion? Well, he looks like he has this much of an army. Maybe I want to stay back and defend. Maybe I want to do this. No, let me just go ahead and try to throw it down. In a lot of the the explanations that were attached to the replays, people were saying I was going to take my fourth, but then I thought that his Blink Stalkers might be a little too strong, so I opted not to. That is the sort of poisonous, I want to say the poisonous thing to do. I don't have a better word than thing. It is to try to apply thoughts in-game to decisions you should have made before the game. For instance, if I say I'm going to go ahead and build my spawning pool on 14, and I haven't scouted him at all yet, and I say, why? You can give me all your answers about, yeah, I want to get expansion up, you could can rush, blah, 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 blah. The simplest answer is, because that's just what I'm doing. I'm just going to do that, because I already decided to. I'm just doing it. You're never at 13 drones and sweating in game. Should I make 2 more drones? Should I make my pool down? Oh, God. You don't deliberate then. So, for instance, when I say do these things, I quite literally mean do these things. I took the decision away from you. If you're getting completely murdered, you should still be thinking, well, after I hold this off, I guess I'm going to be taking a third and a fourth. I guess because I have to. Because Day 9 made me do it. That's right, I did make you do it, damn it. That's the most important thing. Make decisions before the game, and then stick to them! Stick to the decisions, do them. In so many games, you know what, hell, I'm actually just going to load up another game. This game, let me show you what not to do. This game actually ended up not being a display of someone playing poorly, by any means. Where is it? Where was it? Here it is, here it is. This was not bad play at all. This was not bad play in the slightest. This is just someone, again, applying thinking, doing other things, instead of just trying to do the demaga style. This is a player named Storm, a silver level player. We're literally going to ×8 it. You will probably get a slideshow looking thing at this segment because my encoder is rapidly trying to blast through this and I'm not having enough upbound to be able to show it to you in full glory. But, you know, what did we say beforehand? Alright, well, just sort of do whatever you want, make lings as you want, but then get that layer up, and then take that third and fourth as fast as you can. Now, I thought that a lot of the decision-making that went on right at the start was quite good. Ooh, we're gonna die. We better get these spine crawlers up. Aha, here's my additional extractors. Getting the Baneling nest up didn't even really bother me that much. It seemed like a slight detour, but hell, we're still getting our layer up. But it was this sudden moment where we started to invest in the Banelings, then we started to invest in this third base, and I was thinking, where's the fourth base? Where's the fourth base? Where's the fourth base? Where's the fourth base? Some of the reasoning was that, well, he had a really huge standing army, and I wasn't able to push him back because I didn't have Mutalisks yet. Take the damn fourth base. Instead, Storm took the macro hatch, saying, you know, it seemed safer. It seemed to be a little bit more reasonable since I was going Baneling, Zergling to go ahead and take this as my hatchery. I will never try to say, Storm, that is incorrect to build that fourth there. I will never say that's incorrect, because this is a completely reasonable way for him to be playing. However, my issue is that it wasn't this. And that is the most important thing I want you to think about. Whenever you are trying to steal someone's style, just write down what he did, and then be a little bit naive and just do it. Just leap out into the open and go headlong forward. No big problem at all. I do not want you to get caught up trying to apply thought within a game when you have already made the decision before the game. And this is, I think, one of the big things that will start easing your nerves too. Because if you're in a game and you're thinking, what do I do? Your heart will boom, 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 and that'll suck. Instead going, I am going to do this thing that might lose me the game really easily. So what I want to do is come over to Dante's pen, which of course, let's all be honest, most of us are adolescent males here. Yeah, I did want to say Dante's penis. He is spawning. Dante's penis has erected himself down here in the south position, and PK Lordy's at the left. That's good. Let's just go ahead and get this out. There's no problem. Now, there's some issues I want to raise about Dante's pen's play. Dante from the Pen 15 Club. I gave this list of stuff to do. In a moment, we're going to hear me just laud Dante's pen. Just say, man, this guy kicks ass. He's doing everything that he should be doing. This is wonderful. This excites me so much to see someone do this. But anytime you start copying something like this, the gut instinct is going to be to do it as quickly as possible. And you're going to end up doing things too quickly. I'm just going to point out a lot of these things that happen. This will happen no matter if you're stealing Demaga's Ling Muta play, or if you're just stealing any old random player's play. It doesn't matter. When you first try to do something, you are going to focus so much on the big things and forget little things like constantly producing drones. Now, watch what happens. Alright, so he takes the expand. Dante's pen immediately gets this evolution chamber. This ends up being a little bit too early. We see that we don't quite have enough gas to do that. We don't quite have enough gas to do that yet. And then the queen hatches, and then look at this. Dante's pen actually straight up gets the lair. Forget for a moment that he got this evolution chamber and forgot to get the +1 melee. This lair ends up being way too fast. Just watch what happens in terms of economy. Oh, well, our second queen ends up being a little bit delayed as well. Well, we're starting to get some gas geysers because, you know, day 9 told me that, you know, I needed to have a lot of gas, and now our layer's done. We're starting +1. We don't even have enough gas to build a spire yet. In fact, we don't even really have that many drones here. But Dante's pen is basically rushing to get everything on this list done. I like some people in the chat. Yeah, sometimes you need a layer by 5 minutes. Not a big deal. Continuing on the theme, Dante's pen will go ahead and take an expansion here very quickly. Notice that we have a lot of larvae hanging out, unable to be spent. We're taking our expansion, but we just can't really do much at this point in time. These are the types of issues that will always happen when you're trying to get things a little too fast. The spire is going to finish. We can't really get that many mutalisks. However, I will still note everything Dante's doing ends up being perfectly in the spirit of Demaga. Getting this fast +2, getting this +1 upgrade. Zerglings will be positioned to be in counterattack mode. These Zerglings here are slowly going to move up here. The 4th base ends up getting plopped down at a very nice time. Everything looks quite good. In fact, even the amount of drones that Dante's pen is going to start getting. We're going to see him alternate the Mutalisks and the Zerglings brilliantly. This is fantastic for a player who's in Gold, Silver League. This is beautiful for a player who's in Gold, Silver League. And it can be made even better just by slowing down the very, very, very start. Again, if let's say you just tuned into the daily and you just logged in and you went to see what Dante's pen was up to. You were just sort of peeping in on Dante's pen. I mean, if you just glanced here, you'd be like, man, this Zerg is crushing. I mean, he needs to work on his macro, but he already has 4 bases up. I mean, he's getting his Roach Warren up on time. He has hella upgrades. Apparently you're from Northern California. Oh, God, his hecka upgrades. This is way too fast. Still way too fast. Just slow it down. Everything that happened at the start happened too quickly. I'm going to show you a replay to contrast with this. This next replay is from it's from a Diamond Euro Zerg named Whitey. Oh, Spy Max in the top right. Now watch Whitey's openings. Now watch Whitey jump into action. For the record, I see a lot of people in chat noting that the Protoss in the last game did not really play very well. Doesn't matter. Your opponent's play almost doesn't matter until you're like in High Masters, to be honest. Almost all the problems are back at home. Like, yeah. I mean, I said that, and then I paused and thought to myself, damn, Day 9, you're just right as hell. Got it a little too quickly. Watch how slowly Whitey's going to get everything. God, why is his name Whitey? That makes my job so much more difficult. But watch how easy and slow Whitey's going to be getting everything up. The innuendo is just dripping in this daily. I can't believe it. So he's going to go ahead and take his expansion. No evolution chamber has been planted down yet, just first making sure his larva injects are right on the money. There's the hatch being planted. And here's the Evo chamber. We're going to see the timing on this is pretty darn good. Here's the second queen popping up right away. Yeah, just 8 gas shy. And then boom, there it goes down. Now, we're obviously not getting a layer because we have no gas to. But in particular, we're not putting units back in gas to rush for a layer. We're just doing it nice and slow. Just doing it nice and slow, taking it easy. Shh, just take it easy. Just calm the hell down. So even though he just added units back into gas, notice how he's still getting a lot of drones up. Still staying very, very, very focused. Everything's looking really good thus far. And there, look, the layer ends up going down, but not a single larva has been missed. All are being constructed into drones. I mean, at 6 minutes and 50 seconds, the layer was already done in the last game. In this game, we're at 7 minutes and 13 seconds, and he hasn't even, or he's just started the layer. Everything's looking really, really crisp and clean. And because Whitey's been staying active with those Zerglings and keeping an eye on Spy Max, he knows he's not being four-gated. He knows there's nothing too threatening coming in. And he's just going to continue to get everything nice and slowly. If he got things too quickly, if he did try to rush for that layer and rush for that +1 and try to take his third really fast, he runs the risk of dying to any kind of early pressure. Sweet. So what have we established thus far in the daily in this first part? Well, we got to see some awesomeness that was my notepad file, I guess. We got to see this shit. Yeah, we got to see the awesomeness that was Dante's pen getting to the proper mid-game. Getting there, he played brilliantly, he did all his counterattack tactics brilliantly. But before then, he was getting things too quickly, and that ended up really throwing him off kilter. At this point in time, we're seeing Whitey do everything brilliantly thus far to sort of contrast with it. And now I'm going to go into hyper warp speed mode and show a problem that's going to happen after the mid-game. And we're just going to breeze through this, and then we're going to take a break, and then hop into Select versus Demaga. Whitey getting his Spire up, having to build some Zerglings to deal with the sort of pressure that's being thrown at him. He ends up deflecting it, as desired. I do think the expands should be happening a teensy touchy bit faster. But for the most part, you know, we have a reasonable amount of drones. I would label everything that Whitey did up to this point in time as basically spot on. Again, could have gotten it a teensy bit earlier. We're going to see the 4th bases planted here. As an adjustment, I would actually plant the 4th here. So that way we have our 3rd and 4th not next to each other. We have them spread out. So that way, again, helping us with our counterattacks. But again, other than that, spot on. Here's the moment in time where I start to kind of go, ew, Whitey. I start to frown on Whitey. He moves in with the Mutilus and starts doing the harassment. I want you to look up at the production with me. Only be looking at this production and only be looking at the minimap. We see Zerglings doing damage here. Look up at the production. Mutas, Lings. Mutas, Lings. In particular, no drones. Mutas continuing to run around. Harassing. Mutas, Lings. Mutas, Lings. Let's actually times 8 this bad boy. Mutas, Lings. Roach speed. Mutas, Lings. Mutas, Lings. Mutas, Lings. Mutas, Lings. Upgrades. Mutas, Lings. Jesus, look at the minimap. Let me actually just open up this tab. Yeah, Mutalists are doing well. Good. In particular, no drones here. No drones here. It's very easy to go into Mutaling mode and to never pop on out of that. Mutaling is a transition. It is a stepping stone. It is not a place to build your home. My rhyming homes. God, I want to go to break, but I really need to finish making this point. I want to just be like, done! And just wrap up. It's very easy to go into this Mutaling mode and never back out. And as we'll see, here is something that can pollute your thought process. We did so much damage that we don't even need the Zerglings. We just crush them. And we convince ourselves, yeah, things went right. I'm getting my infestation pit. I have a macro hatch up. But still, no drones here. No drones here. When you take your 3rd and 4th, you're looking to get those geysers up nice and fast. So what have we done? We recapped demaga style. Make sure you're not rushing to get all those essential buildings up. Take your time, make sure you drone up. After you get the mutiling up, be very careful. Make sure that you continue to drone up those expansions. And don't stay mutilinging too long. Only use it in case of emergency. Let's go on to part number 2.